Can I help you? Thanks. I hope you found what you were looking for. How strange. I certainly didn't put them there. Sylvie had the keys before I got here, and I can vouch for her. I can vouch for all my staff. None of us would tamper with the crime scene. I think fugue states are more your forte, officer. The trash collection service, CS Municipal.
Ah, the elusive CS Municipal. I doubt we'll be able to track down who was sent here last and when. This would thank you anyway.
Yes? Got the 20 real? Good. You got the room for the night, but remember, you'll need another 20 real tomorrow.
Does Kuno care? So? Fuck, okay.
Kuno sent your fat ass!
Look, pig, Kuno sent you to rough some people up. Kuno played you. That happened. Now you and Kuno should move on. You got fucked. You got fucked, pig. Fucked bad. After this shit. You better have something real interesting to say if you want to...
Yeah, real interesting.
Kuno doesn't...
Amphetamine. Sweet amphetamine. The lieutenant isn't studying. There's a good, vague way to ask where he stands on drug use. Professionally, I mean.
Perhaps not. This is below our pay grade, but that there was an interesting find.
Tarpaulin cloak is still caught on the railing. No one has claimed it for their own. As you leap in the air, a chilly breeze engulfs you, sharpening your senses. As the concrete floor welcomes you, you realize it's been a while since...
Hell yeah! My climbing might not have been as disco as your jump.
With your feet firmly planted on the concrete. On second glance, someone has forgotten to properly...
It's unfortunate for the Union to...
Let's see what's inside, he thinks. The drawer opens smoothly. Inside is a well-organized hundreds of documents containing logistical data. 2 kinds of transactions and the same materials being handed over to companies inside Revachol, Couron, Coal City, La Delta. It's hard to make sense of this thicket of company names, dates, quantities, and percentages. You try to focus, but the lines are getting... Look how blurry. On second glance, let's see what's the drawer of hundreds of and the same. It's hard to make sense of this thicket. Whatever's hidden here is hidden well. Concentration isn't enough. Only a trained accountant with a background in logistics. It appears to be a to-do list written. Remember, Leo, Everard's shoes. Special all items on the list have been crossed out, and the note itself is crumpled.
Everard Clare, probably. The head of the Debarders Union. One of his aides must have left it.
The special borscht seems a bit odd in the list. The drawer slides. An imposing combination of a punch clock and a payphone is looking down at you from the wall. The machine swallows your coin and seems to be waiting for your next move. It's an imposing... The machine swallows your coin and seems to... It's and impose the machine swallow the already familiar cold. It's and impose the machine swallows your coin. It's unclear. And impose the machine swallows your coin. It's unclear. And impose the machine swallows your coin. It's unclear. And imposing the machine swallows your coin. It's and impose the machine swallows your coin. It's and impose the machine swallows your coin. It's and impose The machine swallows your coin. It's the machine swallows your coin. It's The machine swallows your coin. It's imposing. The machine swallows your coin and seems to be waiting for your next move. Your fingers run over the dial pad. 005. That's the dialing code for calling, still.
Video Revachol, 24-hour video rental. You rent 8 and 10 millimeter film for home use.
The voice of a youngster on the other end sounds as in.
Video Revachol is a 24-hour video rental. We rent 8 and 10 millimeter film for home use. This is Lummy. Sir, I don't know. It's a video rental. Maybe no. Maybe you called to extend your rental period? Do you need to extend your rental period? If you need any further assistance, you can visit us on the corner of Voyager and Main. I can't help you over.
He thinks you're pulling a prank on him. On the corner of Voyager and Main, a large neon sign hangs on the side of a building. Tiny heels tiptoeing down the road. Beautiful steps, light-footed. Suddenly you feel like you don't want to hear about video rentals anymore. You don't want to hear about any of it. It was all shit. It's over. Snow is quietly covering the numerous wine bottles and cigarette butts on the ground. Someone partied really hard here.
Well, yes, I think we can say with relative confidence that it was you. It really doesn't. Let's turn our attention.
This is the night watchman's booth. Listen, it's okay to take a few minutes to yourself. Sit down and have a breather.
If you must. But please hurry. We are pretty easy to spot up.
Nothing incriminating catches your eye. The cabinets are clean. It looks like the inhabitant is rather pedantic when it comes to... It's a black and white photo of a young couple out in a street fair. The man, René, is dressed in a Royal Carabinier uniform. The girl is... René looks like he's about to smile.
Why did you take that picture of René? You're really interested in that old soldier. Not sure I understand your fascination, but sure. As long...
The chair is not as austere as the rest of the booth. A thin grey pillow is attached to the seat. You stand and exit the booth. knobs. 2 buttons marked Marsh and Arrête are faded with you. Marsh. On. With a loud grind, the crane shifts overhead, moving a massive metal container through the air. With a surprisingly quiet the harbor sleeps as the strike rages in the distance. The crane can rest again, now that its purpose has been fulfilled. Moving this container, of course.
I can't see how that was worth the wreckers, except for seeing the crane in action, which I admit was sick.
Container, I'll turn...
The lyrics to this container song are the accent is so thick, it's impossible not to notice he's...
Container, used to be Wild Pines. Container, Everard, he looks after...
The look in his deep blue eyes is as sincere as you've ever seen.
I see you are not a union man, mister. Did you get lost? You're not one of them scabs, are you? I mean, I don't personally mind. Folks is just folks, you know, and just some of the other guys don't look too kindly on the scabbing kind, if you know what I mean, mister. Oh, I'm just making some covers for them containers here. Yes, I am. So it's easier for the crane operators to spot them.
The containers in the yard are green in Wild Pine's livery. It's like some red infection was spreading. There appear to be cisterns underneath the Union container covers.
Yes, they are hiding it from the inside. All the red containers have the debarders you...
No, not really. Mr. Everett doesn't tell me all the big things. Says I go and tell them to everyone. Oh, I don't know, mister. They say it's some chemicals. Most of them have labels. Oh, no trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all. Oh, yes. I leave all kinds of notes for myself. That old head of mine ain't so good at keeping things in no more. I almost forgot about the borscht. Oh yes, I've been taking special whirling It's very, very good. Makes a man feel so warm and happy. I feel like I could take on Mr. Renadan's boar dogs every time the lunch is done. Yes. I'm taking it to them. The borscht keeps them happy and in fighting spirits. Makes you all warm inside. They brew it in the whirling in rags. Oh, sure, mister. Sure.
He didn't actually understand what you meant, and now he's just nodding along.
Bye-bye now.
Before you stands a cargo container. Just one of many in the yard.
Is this like your thing with that wall again? There are a million containers here. Why are you fixating on this one? There may very well be, but we are not here to look for that. We are not here to interact with containers. We are here to interview the Union boss.
You attempt to turn the handle. To your left, the lieutenant considers your actions. No reply. The knock produces a hollow ring of metal. Doesn't sound like there's anything inside. Before you is a walrus of a man, seated behind a large desk. With great effort, he straightens himself up with a mixture of expectation and impatience, well bottled.
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop by. Please, have a seat. I'm Everard Clare, head of the I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health...
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding...
You go ahead, detective.
Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be... Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from...
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another. So tell me, how can the head of the Debarders Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia today?
The chair is incredibly uncomfortable. Fortunately, you're...
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Gar. This should take care of that nonsense. It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with a cafeteria.
Wow, that's 25 real. That's good money. You need it.
Is there anything you'd like to say to me?
No.
Cool? I wouldn't go that far. I'm sure there are cooler things than delivering a comically oversized novelty. Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure...
His slug-like lips move, but all you hear... The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only when he said, "Don't worry," he actually meant, be very worried.
I know everything, Harry. Right now, I know that it's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now.
It was loaded. There were 2 bullets in it. You always keep at least 2 barrels loaded. Who does this guy think you are? Ronnie the Rookie? You ain't worried about no lost gun. or unpaid bill, or forgotten name. You're the bad cop. You're probably more corrupt. The fat man does the same, sinking deeper into his chair than one would think is physically possible. Good. Now lean in with some corruption.
That we do, Harry. Let them say what they will about you and me. We're both born fighters. Why, thank you. It's always nice when a fellow professional...
That's it. Now kick back and add a final flourish for dignity.
You strike me as a reasonable man, Harry. I like that in a lawman.
I think we'd like to ask you a few questions.
Somehow you managed to get yourself out of this. Whatever you do, don't ask him about the gun first. You don't want him thinking you're scared.
Oh, of course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martin. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand, but there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly...
Yes, that sounds good. Let's...
But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines. Incredibly talented at opening doors. And I'm sure you're going to open this one with flying colours, Harry.
An excellent opportunity presents itself, sire. You could win the trust of the arch-liar, pretend to play into his hand. Then, should you wish, bend his efforts towards your own.
Fantastic, my friend. Just let me know when it's done and you can get the key from Manana. He's down by the gates. Manana's like a free agent in the Union. Special operations. Hardened socialist. A real free... Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and see the unlocked door. Of course. Let us dispatch with a formality.
That's what the hanged corpse called you, Harry.
My God, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it, but you are a fantastic science fiction amnesiac cop.
I think the odds of that are very...
It might be a good idea to hide your confusion. I mean, see what his game is for.
I assure you, there's nothing to be ashamed of, Harry. You're among... I have a big fat folder on you, Harry. I'm sure you have a lot of questions to ask. I'm sure you had some concerns you thought I might be able to address. And you were probably right.
It's just a brown folder.
Are you trying to tell me you've gotten hold of some of our documents?
Mr. Kitsuragi, would you mind? Me and Harry are talking about his lost
Don't just jump to the folder. That's not smart. Shows you're on the edge. Do some probing first. As you look at the folder, Everard covers it with his hand and pets it. He's hiding it from you because it's not...
Okay, Harry, you got me. This is from the Census Bureau, not the RCM.
He got the name from the Census Bureau, and every...
Yes, Mr. Kitsuragi, from the Census Bureau. Like I said, now I'm actually a very busy man.
That means he doesn't really pity. The mystery of you.
Yes, that's what I said. Try to keep up, okay? Let's move on. Yes, your lost gun. My best men are on it. They're turning every stone, searching every playground. Your gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure...
The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun hostage.
Yes, thank you for the hot tip regarding your lost gun, Harry. Now please, let the professionals do their job. Kick back, Harry, relax. I have great gun.
It did not come as a surprise to him. He might actually not be bullshitting.
Harry, I was only trying to be tactful. And lost kids could be playing gun roulette with it as we speak. Teenage gangs could be arming themselves.
I assure you, we are working on locating.
Excellent, Mr. Kitsuragi. That's excellent news. Looks like we have a friendly gun-finding competition on our hands. Wait. You need this to get in and out through the gate. Here, you're one of us now. A real red and white...
Before you step...
Is this like your thing with... There are a million containers here. We are not here to interact with containers.
You attend to your left. The knot produces a hollow ring of metal. Doesn't sound like there's anything...
So, how'd you like our harbor?
You've been in there, he means. Talked to the boss man too, probably.
It's but a rest area on the path leading across open plains. Right, you talk to the boss, eye to eye, like men of the plain. If you have a key, huh? What door is this key supposed to open? Oh, say no more. I got that key right here. And let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say. Oh, so the none of the above type, are you? I get it, I get it. I like to keep my distance too. What you're looking for is a basement door behind the greenhouse. That's behind the whirling in rags. That's all I know.
Okay, but where did you get...
The janitor gave it to me. Nice fella. We talked about none of this mess we're in. This jiving and juggling. What's it for? To feed our children, I guess. I'm more of a philosophical dock worker. I like to talk about the big picture stuff. Who I am, who you are.
He means he's not going to tell you because he doesn't know who he is and what they're fighting for. This is interesting.
Hola, Wandering Man. We're negotiating our share. Aye. All of it. However, right now we want all the harbor workers to be on the company's board, so they could...
This seditious talk sounds like communism. Just so we're on the same page, communism is basically wanting to kill the rich people or deporting them to a labor camp in southeast Grad. But don't say that out loud if you're a communist.
I think it's best you make up your own mind now that you've met him. In my eyes, he is a capable organizer and a decent businessman. I guess you kind of get to be the village chief. He oversees the harbor, makes...
By that, you mean?
By heavens, why would he not be corrupt? We live in a harsh and The old man is corrupt for our benefit, and we know it. Appreciate it even. He is, personally, not too lavish. Okay, he's reasonably lavish, sure. That's his prerogative. It's not like you want a saintly demeanor on a corrupt... Besides, there are no non-corrupt systems in the world anyway.
This man has political theory, and it has not failed him today.
Sure thing.
This was great. You feel mentally reinvigorated.
The mercenary, eh? Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even do such a thing? What a thought! Why would noble workers resort to such a thing? Your dead guy was an agent of the opposition, attempting... I ain't the murdering type, but that's just me. Large organizations like our union have...
He's not lying. He means a more violent...
Understood. This has been of limited use. Still.
No problem. I wish the best to you in your search. Sure, I'm glad it's not my... We're negotiating. Aye. All of it.
This seditious talk sounds like communism. Just so we're on the same page.
No. I don't think I'm a communist. Seeing something of value and saying... Even a weak child can think it. The only things holding someone back are I can't and I shouldn't. I have nothing against communists. They are honorable boyaderos. But my own code serves me well. If my code starts failing, a code can fail a man as well as a man can fail a code, then I will have to...
He knows who he is. Firmly grounded. Has no need to reinforce or elaborate his political identity to himself or others.
See, I'm primarily a lazy person. Sure, I've had the necessary free time. Fortunately, there's...
The look in his brown eyes conjures up an understanding. For it all comes together now. The way he speaks about scabs, his general attitude. He's a follower of that of a noble peasant, or a traveling herdsman. True to yourself. Independent, no. No, the man sits on the railing, his hands reaching far and wide. Yet it feels as if he could effortlessly go. What's this? We're getting reports of normal, reasonable, temperate political opinions somewhere in Martinez. It's also about that, but it's also more. It's time to become a citizen of the Kingdom of Conscience. I knew we could trust you. Remember, real democracy